Hey guys, Mithyc here, and today we are back again with another video. Today we're going to be doing a Medieval 2 kind of mod look at. We're going to kind of look at a mod. I'm not developing this mod. I am helping with the development, kind of an assistance. Guess I'm part of the team. But all I'm really doing is editing the events, and I guess anything else that's easy enough for my little incompetent brain to understand. This mod's being developed by a friend of mine, referred to as ya boy on Discord, or Urban Hoplite. You'll probably see him in the comments of this video. He's a friend of mine. He's also a loyal subscriber to the Mithyc YouTube channel. Remember to smash like, subscribe to get notified whenever I upload a video. And yeah, he's been a great supporter, long-time supporter of the channel, except for that one time he threatened to unsubscribe and then didn't. But before this video starts, we're going to have a quick pre-word from him because he wants to talk about the mod a bit and maybe explain the direction it's going into.
Hello, my name is your boy 666. You may also know me as Urban Hoplite on YouTube, and I am the lead developer of Lucium Total War, a mod centered around Europe in the year 1700. The mod focuses specifically on the period of 1700 to 1850 with various historical events between the time, like the Spanish Succession Crisis, French Revolution, trying to think of I'm trying to think at the top of my head. The active union between governments of Scotland and England, to make Great Britain, of course. And when I was making the mod along with the rest of the team, I wanted to truly capture the feeling of commanding a country, whereas Medieval 2 base game doesn't really let you do that, and make it feel like it was 1700. Now, I've done lots of things like making their historically relevant rebelling colonies in Spain, such as Flanders and Milan, they're rebelling, the revolutionary Protestants in southern France, and the units very period suited. The various factions you can control, there is 23 overall, well 22 if you don't count revolutionary France, but so this includes Kingdom of France, Great Britain, Prussia, the Ottoman Empire, Austrian Empire, things like that. So I wanted to talk about, the main things I want to talk about is the Holy Roman Empire system in Lucium Total War. Now, in the base game, it's one faction, and the faction does things. It's just like a normal faction. It has the Emperor, things like that. But I always thought that's not how the Holy Roman Empire works in real life. And I thought to portray that, as the Papal States are no longer going to be able to call crusades and things, I'd convert the Papal States into the German Parliament, I think they're called, German Imperial Parliament, there we go. And along with 4 other German states, which would be the same religion, German Protestant, as them, there would be sort of like a hierarchy and various, you can elect the Emperor, the Pope, you can call these cross-empire wars, is that what I call them? Yeah, that's what them. Cross-empire wars, where the entire empire goes to war. They all have standings with the Emperor to call these. You've got, you can be isolated, which is like excommunicated. It's very good. I'm still working on it though, and in the demo that Mithyc is going to have, that you're going to watch in a couple of seconds, actually a few minutes, he will have Prussia and the German Parliament, so the other ones would be Bavaria, the Rhine, Saxony, but they're currently not in the game. However, that's about everything. Is there anything else I want to say? No. I told Mithyc it would be 2 minutes long. I've gone over. Okay, so, that's my little mini run over. Back to my mate Mithyc. And he will continue where I left off with the actual version of the game. And this is your boy out. Ciao.
Alright, well, after that quick break, and he's discussed some stuff, we're going to actually take a look at the mod now. So, there are, so far, 7 factions, 6 if you don't count the minor factions, but the United Kingdom, Great Britain mainly, the Kingdom of France, German Imperial Parliament, Spanish Empire, the Kingdom of Prussia, and the Papal States. Now, some of these flags haven't been changed yet, and you'll see why. The German Imperial Parliament is actually separate from the Kingdom of Prussia. It's a bunch of, I'll explain it later, but we're going to go into the United Kingdom because they're the most fleshed out so far. You see we got these custom pictures with the units. These are custom units he's added. So here we go. The flags have changed. So you've got for the most part, historically accurate flags. And I say that because, you know, if you're a history nerd like me, you know these red stripes weren't here. Technically, nothing was here because the event for English unification with Scotland hasn't fired off yet because that'll be in 1707. But you've got the Navy. We're going to toggle Fog of War really quickly. And as you can see, the nations here. So this is Prussia. They own Berlin, Mecklenburg, and Trousseau. You have the German Imperial Parliament in Magdeburg. So you might wonder why the English own Amsterdam. That's because during this time, King William, he actually was king of the UK, but also the king of the Netherlands. So currently, the king is in Amsterdam, and the British own that. And Spanish own Belgium and lots of Italy because that's just what they were doing at that time. And then you've got France here, which is just being France. They haven't overthrown their monarchy just yet, but it's gonna happen. So one of the first changes you might see is the UI down here, besides the map and flags, of course, is the UI down here, which is pretty cool. You got these custom pictures in the background, all this sort of stuff. You got a bigger map, a much bigger map, different too. And one thing I want to go ahead and just talk about immediately is the interesting system with the colonies. So some people might wonder, how are the British going to fight the American Revolutionary War if they can't get to the Americas? The main answer is they aren't. But it is going to cause some impacts for the colonial nations. So eventually, when the Spanish colonies in South America break away, there are going to be some really big negative effects for them. And probably same with the French for Haiti. So there are going to be a bunch of effects based off colonial revolutions. This mod is going to go from the year 1700 to the year 1850, which is a lot of events for me to code in. I'm actually going to go ahead and pass through some of these events just to show you that they are here. I have done these events. I'm a productive member of the team, I swear. Yeah, so here, Spanish success and crisis, the things are going to change. I wrote these out, so basically right now, with the death of the Spanish monarch, the nation has been plunged into chaos with many factions vying for power and control to become the next king to inherit the empire. So the Spanish are going to have a civil war. That hasn't been coded in just yet, but it'll come. It'll come. Like I said, the mod's a work in progress. We're going to skip ahead to see more events because we got them. So why not take a look at them? So here we have St. Petersburg founded. You can read this if you want. I'm not going to read it off. But so far the events go up to 1710. So next one we should have is Javanese succession crisis. Yeah, Javanese succession war, the island of Java in the East Indies. Of course, you can read that yourself. So it keeps going on. So eventually, when you get to 1707, you will get the Acts of Union, which means that over here, these guys will move in here and take this over for the UK, making it completely controlling of the British Isles. So there we go, we got that. We're going to keep skipping ahead to see all of the events. Next one is 1709. The Great Frost. This is pretty important since the Great Frost begins in 1709 and doesn't end 1850. So this event will go on for the entire time that the game is being played. Because this was a really cool event. It was based off a huge volcanic eruption, and it basically caused the world to freeze and get much colder for a while. And it lasted a long time. Here's another event. So, final event. Oh, yeah, King William's dead, whatever. Final event is the famine in East Prussia. So, this is as far as the events go right now. I'm going to keep adding more events, and the mod is, of course, going to be developed. But right now, I want to show you guys the Imperial Parliament system, because that is very cool. So, here we are as Prussia. As you can see, we have Berlin, Mecklenburg, and Truce. And if we go in here, instead of the Pope, there'll be the Emperor. So this is us, the Kingdom of Prussia. Emperor Charles the Shivers of the German Imperial Parliament. Now, of course, Crusades, I'm not quite sure what he's going to do with those. I'm sure those are probably going to be removed. And right now, this is the picture of the Pope. But there'll be a few more HRE member states in places where the HRE should be. So in all of this stuff. there'll be a bunch more German states, and they're all going to be vying for faction favor, which is basically like the papal system from regular Medieval 2. And these are going to be the electors for making the emperor, which I think is going to be a very cool system. But there are going to be other events, such as the 7 Years' War. There's going to be the French Revolution, the American Revolution, a bunch of colonial revolutions. It's just going to be a pretty big mod in scale. It's a massive undertaking, and massive respect to him for undertaking said massive undertaking. Wow. If you understood that, then you are a genius. But that's about all there is to really show right now. I'm going to show the units of some factions because the rosters are pretty cool. All of the units are custom made. So here we've got Musketeer Line Infantry, Reconnaissance Cavalry, Riders, Cannons, other stuff. It's going to be renamed. A lot of things are going to be retextured, but let's get into the custom battle so you guys can see the units a bit more. So if we come in here, we're going to get all the factions. So German Imperial Parliament, Papal States, and where is Prussia? So these should be all the main players. So here we see we have Royal Legion Pikemen, European Riflemen, European Line Infantry, Musketeer Infantry, Imperial Pikemen, Home Guard Militia, British Mobile Lancers, British Lance Cavalry, and we have a few more guys over here. Oh, we have the Primitive Cannon. France has basically a similar thing, European Riflemen. The Germans also are similarly based. They haven't gotten many custom things yet for their recruitments, because that's more of the Parliament as opposed to Prussia itself. And where is... oh yeah, Prussia. So here's Prussia. They're made out of Byzantium, if you can guess. They have the Home Guard, the Ordinate Pikemen. I'm not pronouncing that correct. Musketeers, Europeans. So let's start the battle, and let's take a look at... so let's take a look at these sweet units. Now, a lot of them haven't been given textures separate from the regular Medieval 2 stuff. I'm going to assume that's going to change. But the unit cards look nice. And there's some units, like the Royal Legion Pikemen, that just look awesome. We've also got the Imperial Pikemen, which is my personal favorite. He fixed their pictures. There was a great one where his face was split down the center by a giant black line, and his eyes were, like, inverted. It was a great little modeling glitch. But I'm kind of sad to see it go. Anyway, yeah, we've got the Imperial Pikemen. You got the Home Guard Militia, which are really just levies, and of course we got the Primitive Cannons. So everything is basically the same for right now. So these are what the infantry look like. There aren't too many differences in models yet, and so you might be wondering how is the changing technology going to be accurately shown in this mod? How is this going to represent the change from flintlock muskets to repeating rifles? And that's going to be done through the barracks, unsurprisingly. So just like in base game Medieval 2, technology is going to get better as the barracks improve. So that's going to change the cannons, the gun type, and each of these different units has a rapid rate of fire, like a better way of fire. So this is like the late 1600s, early 1700s start of the game infantry you're going to get. I believe they have a 2-second reload, and these guys, I think they're kind of your 1750s guys. They've got, I assume, I could be incorrect. These guys have a 1.5 second reload time, and I'm not quite sure for the European Riflemen, because last time I looked at this, they weren't added, but I'm assuming their reload time's going to be even slower. Now here we've got the Cavalry. These guys are, granted, their unit card's a bit, it's a bit different from their actual look, but these guys, the British Lance Cavalry, are basically the Demi Lancers. So if you want, you can see a real European line battle. Fire. Oh crap! Yeah, those guys are really deadly. That European line infantry. It's much deadlier than the other. That was painful. But yeah, these guys are doing pretty good. They're looking pretty cool. I can't wait for the units to get retextured so they look more, you know, timely. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. So let's just see how good these guys do against cavalry. If they fire. Oh yes. Oh yes. So the cavalry isn't gonna be very useful in this mod because this is gonna represent the change from, you know, using lots of cavalry to using you know, light cavalry for quick skirmishing engagements. Cavalry won't have such a big role to play. Fire. Yeah, so let's see who's winning over here. Is our ally beating them? Crap, seems the Ordinata. Oh wait, no, we're allied with the Prussians, aren't we? Oh, it seems like the Papal States are getting defeated. Or not. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, that's probably it for the battle. Alright, basically, to sum it up, mod look cool. It's going to be developed. You guys will probably see me do more videos on it. Probably how to install and just some other updates on how this goes. Remember to go look at Urban Hoplites channel. And hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you're actually interested in looking at this some more. And Mithyc out.